I don't care anymore. I had to do it. I reported my sister's children to the CPS because of what she's done, guys. You will not believe this one. I had to call CPS on my sister. Guilty for calling, but also guilty for waiting so long to call. I also called animal control, and they'll be at the door in a few hours. I'm in college, and the new semester just started, and no way am I going to be able to focus in class today. My nibblings are severely neglected. They don't attend school, and one has an IEP for a diagnosed developmental delay, and has long hair matted down to the scalp. Their house is a house of horrors, just filled with garbage, urine, and feces from animals that they don't take care of and barely feed. They all sleep in one bedroom, because the house is filled to the brim with trash. I've tried cleaning it. I've tried hiring people to clean it. I've even tried begging. Nothing has worked. I've spent thousands of dollars trying to get this house cleaned up, and nothing gets through to her. My sister needs psychiatric help, and she won't get it. The woman I knew 5+ years ago would have never treated living, breathing creatures like this. I don't even know who she is anymore. She's such a liar that I have no idea what's even the truth when she does talk to me. The school is on the verge of taking her to court for educational neglect. She keeps them out until dawn, door dashing, and then they sleep until 4 p.m. and just do whatever the heck they want again. The kids don't have friends or social lives. They barely know how to act around people at all. I'm so disgusted and, well, to be honest, sad. My sister was my best friend, but I can barely look at her without feeling like I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Our parents have washed their hands of this and don't want to be involved anymore. They've tried everything I have and have given her so much money because she refuses to get a job. I don't want them to be mad at me for calling, but I did not see them doing it. I have 2 kids of my own to take care of, and taking on my nibblings would completely disrupt the household. But if they get removed from her care, I'd rather they came to me while she goes and gets a little bit of help. Our grandmother just passed away, and now I feel even more guilty for calling, because she was close to her and her mental health is already in the toilet. I feel so lost and alone in all this. Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here. This is a pretty intense story. There's a few updates, so we're going to jump into update number 1. It was posted just 3 days later. I've heard absolutely nothing about animal control from my sister or from the animal control officer that I spoke to. He was going to stop in Monday morning, and now it's Wednesday afternoon. I'm not sure if maybe he did stop in and nobody told him, but nothing really to update there. I've also heard nothing about DCF or CPS. My sister's best friend has been keeping me updated on what exactly is happening. She's also been trying to clean up the house, and has been driving 2 hours to bring my nibblings to school so that my sister doesn't need to. I do not agree with this, though I'm glad that they're at least going to school now. I told her friend that she needs to not bail her out, because if she can't do these things without her, then we're not really helping her, are we? I've been right where she is. She's basically me 6 months ago. Her best friend's not only driving 2 hours both ways to help my sister, but she is taking time off to work to clean her house up. I just don't think she can go very far on her own. But my niece somewhat has a bedroom floor now, at least. She's also been sending me things to post on the marketplace to sell, including a rabbit enclosure that I had no idea she even had. That rabbit apparently mysteriously died, is what I'm told. The kids have gone to school the last 3 days, even though they've been late, because of my sister's friend. I fear she's just making the problem worse by doing stuff for her, basically enabling her laziness. But at the same time, the kids need to go, so they need to go. It's such a hard place to be right now. She told me that my sister's still sleeping and it's currently 2 p.m. because she was door dashing all night. I don't know how she plans to keep this up. Thank you everybody for the kind words and advice. It's been so nice and encouraging to read through everything. You have no idea how much it helps. Update number 2, 3 days later. I called CPS again on my sister, and this time there's somewhat of an update. My sister is, well, very upset with me because I told our mother that her children aren't going to school, even after the meeting she had with the school, telling her that she has until the 19th to clean up her act, or they're taking her to court for educational neglect. Well, my mother wasn't happy with her and called her and told her off, to which my sister told her to, quote, lose her number. She's still not speaking to me, but she'll get over it. She probably won't get over the CPS thing, though. I haven't heard from them yet, or from the animal control, and she hasn't said anything about it, so it's still just a waiting game. The school made a plan with her to have the kids at school at 7:15, because she told them the problem is the kids don't want to go and be watched when they walk in, because she's constantly late bringing them to school and they're walking in midday. And every day this week, they've been at least an hour and a half late, despite her friend's best efforts. Her best friend has been keeping me updated on things, and she's been driving 2 hours each way in order to bring the kids to school. And when she stayed the night, she slept in the garage, because the smell of urine and feces was so intoxicating. Her best friend went back home late last night to get some real rest before she starts working again tomorrow. She took a week off just to work for my sister. It's currently 9:30 in the morning, and I haven't seen her location move from her house, so I know those poor kids are probably not going to school today. She told me getting up wasn't the problem, but her best friend told me that she's been staying up all night door dashing and sleeping until 3 p.m. while she brings them to school. What is her plan now that her friend went back to her own life? Her best friend is where I was a year ago. She thinks she can fix her. She bought the kids new clothes for school because none of them fit, and has attempted to clean the house. She spent 12 hours cleaning and has hardly made a dent. She found 2 dead rats in common areas that the dogs have been peeing on, probably to mask the smell. I'm so freaking disgusted. She told me her kids are not going anywhere and stop rearranging my house for them. But she's not doing anything to make any changes for her children. Alright guys, Mr. Edito here. So there's another update. This one's titled CPS Finally Gets Involved. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. If you like these multiple updated stories, go ahead and click that subscribe button because they're here every single day, and let's see what's going on with CPS. I'm not sure if I should keep making new posts or add on to the ones I've already made. Someone let me know, LOL. I don't know how this works. I called and talked to the school for the second day in a row. She did not get them to school yesterday or today and slept through all the phone calls from them. I watched her location and she got home at about 6:30 a.m. and it hasn't moved from there. I'm going to start calling my sister's best friend Jen. Jen called my sister from 7 to 9 this morning until one of my nibblings answered the phone. They said they've been trying to wake her up for an hour and she would not get up to bring them to school. Jen says they brought the phone to my sister and Jen told her to get her butt up now. Then my sister lied and told her she brought the kids to school yesterday and she'd do it again today. Spoiler alert, she did not. Jen's upset that she's been lying to her, but I think she's always lied to her. She's just now realizing that it's been happening. Well, fast forward a few hours. I start getting a notification for every message that's being deleted by Jen incriminating my sister. Dozens of messages, including pictures. Luckily, I had most everything saved already at this point. I asked what she was doing, and she ignored me for a bit, and then I get a call from her. She's crying. She's upset. She says, "What did you do?" I just played completely dumb. Apparently, my sister called her ripping, mad screaming, saying CPS got involved and hung up on her. She thinks Jen is the one who called. I do feel pretty bad about that. I have no idea if they showed up or if they just called, but it did not sound good. She has an inspection coming, but we're unsure of when. I wish I knew what went down. All I know is that they mentioned the things Jen had told only me, so it'll probably all come back to me eventually. If somebody showed up to her house, I'm sure she refused to let them in, which is an obvious red flag. And by the way, her porch looks terrible. There's trash, feces all over outside, so I'm sure that was another rock in her sack. We have our grandmother's funeral tomorrow morning, and if she gets her butt out of bed at 8:30 tomorrow morning, which is doubtful, it's going to be one awkward family reunion. Jen is also going, and I'm crapping bricks. Third and final update. I don't even know where to begin. I feel like so much has happened, yet nothing at all. My sister knows somebody called, is blaming Jen, and isn't speaking to her. I feel slightly awful, because now my sister's speaking to me again and talking crap about Jen. I've been redirecting her as best as I can. The only reason she's even talking to me is because she wants to borrow my car. I wouldn't see it again, so I've just been saying it's at the shop, which isn't a lie, but I can pick it up anytime I need it. I just haven't had the time with school and work. But I'm not telling her that. She only talks to us when she needs something, like picking her up a vape juice and giving her money or a vehicle. I'm trying hard for these kids, and I just feel like I'm getting nowhere besides poking the bear. For now, I'm saying let's make the best of it and get some help, but she's yet to make any effort at all. The only people that know I called her dad is my partner and her friend, Kara, who is actually a DCF worker. She's been so helpful throughout this and is trying to help me with the children in a way that won't cause her to lose her job, so to say. My sister did not go to the funeral as expected, and she has a meeting on Monday with the school board to discuss the kids' truancy once more. This was her deadline to start going before they took her to court. I've been calling the school every single day, and they've not gone once since Jen stopped bringing them day 3 of their deal. It's been a few weeks now. They know my phone number now and greet me by my name. LOL. My sister managed to dodge her DCF worker 2 days in a row. One she rescheduled, and second the worker rescheduled. This house, it still looks horrendous, and I dropped off Operation Happiness gifts and food, and I could not even get past the front door. It was a dark, dingy, dirty, stinky cave. She's still in denial and says, quote, "Jen called DCF on me over a moldy zucchini. She's dead to me." Actually, she's just plain delusional, and it might be something to do with mental health. There's no way she can actually believe that, not when I've seen her house and smelled it. She even craps on Jen for her cat and kittens and how, quote, "at least there's no cat poop and pee at her house." I don't know what she's talking about because there's actually a ton. She's not put in a single gram of effort into cleaning her house, but she has spent a lot of time trying to figure out who called on her, which is just plain disgusting. I've told her friend Kara everything, and she's been trying to talk to her, but my sister has been lying through her teeth to her, which is unhelpful because I've told her absolutely everything. She said she may have to write her own report based off the things I've told and things she's noticed. She gave my information along to my sister's social worker and said to expect a phone call as soon as it's being made a priority. Oh boy, my sister's going to be mad. I've been dropping hints to her about seeking treatment and easing her into the thought of her kids coming to my house. She's still vehemently against it and says that they're not leaving her house under any circumstances. Unfortunately, she does not have the choice anymore, but I need her to comply with our plan once they do get taken. I have no idea how she's going to react, and honestly, I'm terrified. Especially terrified for her children. She's not going to make this easy on them, and if she has to go to court, she'll get a copy of the affidavit on it. That will have my name and exact reports that I made. I'm not thrilled for that, but for now, I'm just denying it until I can't deny anymore. Alright guys, thanks again for everything. Okay, so that was an intense story. There is another story on the day, but first, let's actually look at a comment from someone who commented who is a CPS employee. Oh, having worked for CPS many moons, I'm not. The initial call was probably a grade 7-day response, meaning the worker had a week to get there, check things out. Depending on how busy it is, sometimes those deadlines can get straight up blown out of proportion. If someone's not allowing you inside their house, there's not a ton you can do. To enter someone's house against their will, you need a reasonable belief that the child is actively in danger, to the point where you can't try anything else and need to act now. The children aren't in that level of danger based on this story. Yes, they need help, but it won't be measurably worse if the worker comes back tomorrow. A lot of CPS work is using soft power, leveraging the fact that the people want to pleasure the authority figures. People respect the power of the state. People want to be seen as good parents, but a lot of the time I was also leveraging this. If you don't let me in, I'll have to come back and bother you again, and again, and again, and basically annoying my way into someone's home. And honestly, I can't find any fault with the CPS worker of this story. Letting mom reschedule you once with the hope of keeping goodwill is much better than burning the bridge entirely and having to go get a warrant. So guys, that was a pretty intactful comment. Let me know your thoughts about that comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to add a little bit of info? And we'll turn to the final story of the day. Am I the a-hole for prioritizing my son's dog over my wife's pregnancy? When my son was 8, he's now 14, we got a dog. He's half Great Dane and half some dog my friend's dog met during an unauthorized absence. My son loves this dog and does all the care for him, except vet stuff, and is very responsible dog owner. This dog is pretty much his best friend. My wife is 12 weeks pregnant, and ever since we confirmed the pregnancy, she's been acting weird around the dog. She avoids him, puts her hands over her stomach when he's around, and jolts whenever he makes a noise. Today she told me she wants to rehome the dog. I asked her what is she talking about. She said that she's been having anxiety that he'll jump on her. This is completely unreasonable. He doesn't jump on people. We trained him not to jump on people or to run into people very young because he's a half Great Dane, and I felt it's important for all dogs, but especially one who could possibly grow to such a large size, which he did. There's no reason for her to think the dog will jump on her. She said that there's no way to know for sure that the dog won't jump on her since he's an animal, and if he does, our baby could simply get hurt. Guys, this dog has never so much as growled at her. She said even if the dog doesn't jump on her, her anxiety's bad for the health of the baby. She said she needs the dog elsewhere for her safety and the baby's safety. I told her that there's no way that's going to happen, and my son got this dog right after he lost his mother and imprinted on him hard. Sometimes I think he loves the dog more than me. I'm not taking his dog, and the dog did not do a thing. So my wife said I'm prioritizing the dog over her pregnancy. This dog is not a threat to her or anybody. If there was any other reasonable request or proof that this would happen, I would just do it because she's pregnant. I just can't break my son's heart over a fear that she has that makes absolutely no sense. So my question to you guys is, am I the a-hole? Alright guys, there was one comment on this story that got so much traction, attention, comments, you name it. Here it is. It's basically explaining, hey, if you're going to be afraid of a dog, why aren't you afraid of all this stuff? Not the a-hole. Has she stopped driving? Has she started using a wheelchair so she doesn't slip? Is she refusing to use stairs? Guys, in my humble opinion, she needs a lot more counseling, and I'm being genuine, I am not trying to be rude, to figure out why she's only fixated on the dog and reacting to sounds similar to PTSD systems. Did you train the dog not to jump because he pushed her over at some point? Was she pushed by a dog as a child or something? Something got in her head, or maybe she's always hated that darn dog and is manipulating you now that she sees her chance to get rid of it. So guys, do you think it's that malicious? If you do, drop it in the comment section down below. Let me know what you really think's going on with her. And guys, that's all the stories for today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, subscribe to the channel. I'm here every single day. You can find all the links right below. my other YouTube channels, my Instagram, you name it. Guys, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.